welcome to week 2 in our France week. Bonjour, bienvenue, I think it means welcome, and yeah. Today we are going to be taking another recipe from Beeta at Mon Petit Four.com, and we are making Profiteroles. Profiteroles? Profiteroles. My R's are still a little wonky in French, sorry. But basically it's sort of like a cream puff. You take a choux pastry, and instead of filling it with cream like a cream puff would be, or like a custard, you fill it with ice cream. So I'm pretty excited about that. So if you don't know, my name is Becky, nice to meet you, and I am the creator, director, editor, everythinger for Monday Munchies, as well as the overarching project called Crossing Borders. So thank you for being here. We'll have a bunch of links in the description below, so please make sure you check those out. That includes the recipe from Mon Petit Four by Beeta. That'll include our Etsy for merchandise, which you should go check out because we had a lot of cool stuff. That will include our website, Instagram link, and also our Patreon. What's so cool about being a Crossing Borders Patreon member? A whole lot of stuff. Come on now. You're going to get, depending on your tier, you will get your name in the credits. You're going to get different prints sent to you from places that I've been. And then when we are on the road, you'll also get you'll get postcards and prints from places that we are visiting while we're on the road. You get a newsletter that will tell you about what's happening next month. You'll also receive little like gifts in the mail too with your print. Every month it's something different. And also, if you sign up at the Gap Year tier, which is the most expensive tier, but it grants you 1 to 2 extra recipes, extra Monday Munchies videos, Patreon exclusive. My regular old YouTube channel doesn't get to see it. Just you if you sign up. So, it's pretty cool. It does take a lot of work to edit those, and especially because I'm a one-lady team, so one-person team here. So I do offer those for the higher tier because it takes a while for me to do. So we'd love to have you at any of the tiers, or even if you just want to like the video, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notifications every time we post a video. For Monday Munchies, it's every Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But we might also put out other videos, and you won't know that they're there unless you hit the notification bell. You'll be the first to know. And how cool is that? The first to know. That's pretty cool. It's like a VIP status. Anyways, so we're going to get to working on these profiteroles, and we will figure out our ingredients over at the counter. See you over there. Alright my friends, my jet setters, we are back at the counter for another round of ingredients. Today, like I said, we are making profiteroles, and we need actually not too many ingredients. And some ingredients that surprised me, and some ingredients that were left out that surprised me, and like just some amounts of different ingredients have really surprised me with this recipe because it's supposed to be like a sweet dish. So I'm very interested to see how it comes out. We'll start with just listing everything. So you're going to need a pastry bag and a large tip on there for when we're dishing out those profiteroles onto the parchment lined pans. I have a feeling this dough is going to be kind of sticky, and that's why you put it in here instead of rolling it out like we've done for the other couple of recipes where we've had breads and doughy type situations. So I think that's why you put it in there. We'll find out if that's true. You'll need ice cream because this gets filled with ice cream. I'm a vanilla ice cream fan. I do like chocolate as well, but I think these are going to go well with vanilla. Also, Beeta recommends using vanilla. My mom is a big old chocolate freak, so I got this half chocolate, half vanilla. So when I'm serving for her or anybody else who'd like chocolate, I have it available, and I can enjoy my vanilla ones, and anyone else who likes vanilla can also enjoy those. I'm going to put this back in the freezer though. All right, ice cream's gone back in the freezer so it doesn't melt. Boop, boop, boop. Then you've got 2 eggies. You have a ½ teaspoon of sugar. Just a ½ teaspoon. Look at that. That's like no sugar. That surprised me. Also, there's absolutely no flavoring. There's no almond extract, vanilla extract. For me to do like a baking thing without vanilla or almond extract or some kind of flavoring is so weird. But whatever, we're here for it. I've got a ½ teaspoon of salt. We got a 1/4 cup of butter unsalted. We have 2 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate chips. 1 cup of water. I'm not going to tip that over, that'll be a mess. We've got 3 tablespoons of heavy cream and a ½ cup of all-purpose flour. And that's it. It doesn't seem like a lot of ingredients. I don't know how difficult the recipe is. For both Greece and Japan, I was kind of familiar with the food that I chose. Not all of them. I put some in there that I had no idea about. But I knew what the flavors were to expect because I've had them before, and I figured just starting out it was good to do something that you kind of knew what flavors you were to expect. With France, I don't really know what we're going for, I guess. I don't think I've had any of the recipes that we're making. I'm trying to think. No. So, a little different, so I'm not sure what to expect. So come along on that journey with me, and we'll experience some France foods. So the very first step we want to do is heat your oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. So BRB. All right, oven's preheating. Our second step in the process is to go over to the stove where we're going to take our water, our butter, our little baby amount of granulated sugar, and our little baby amount of salt. And also we're going to take our flour over there. We're not going to need it right away, but we will need it for the next step. So we're going to take that. So we're leaving the chocolate chips, we're leaving the heavy cream, and we're leaving those little eggies, which I'm going to put in a bowl just to keep them safe from rolling around. So I will see you over at the stove. So right now we are headed over to the stove where we're going to take our ingredients that I mentioned and put them into the saucepan. But I want to take a break real quick. We haven't done a coffee break because last time I did this in the afternoon, and today it's morning, baby. So we got coffee. Look at this cute mug my sister got me. It says, why won't it focus? It says let the adventure begin, and it's got a cute map on it, and when you finish it says let the adventure begin on the bottom too. It's so cute. I actually got a bunch of new coffees from Bones Coffee Company. I had to do an order because I ran out of coffee. And I always do their 5 sample pack. So got a whole bunch of coffees in the other day. The one I have today is Red Velvet. I haven't had it before ordering this time around. And it's very good. I actually really like it. I have it with a sweet Italian creamer in there. It's nice. Again, if you haven't seen my other videos, this is not sponsored. I just really like Bones Coffee, and I like to talk about them because their coffee is very good, and if you see me sipping on it, I want to let you know what I'm drinking. So, off we go to the stove. Alrighty, welcome over to the stovetop. I know we haven't used Mom Pan in a while either. I think we get to use her for the next recipe we'll make. It's been a lot of saucepans and stand mixing, so hopefully Mom Pan will see a resurgence in the next episode. But anyways, for right now, we are going to heat our water, that ½ cup of water, the unsalted butter, which I like to leave in its little packaging. Boop, pop that in the middle. A little island of butter, a little island of beurre, the sugar, now I'm just being artsy fartsy and stupid, and the salt. Boop. We're going to turn the stove on to medium, and we're going to warm this just until the butter melts. I'm actually going to go ahead and flip that over so that the sugar and the salt get in there. There we go. Now the sugar and the salt is in the water and not on the butter. Alrighty, so while our butter is melting, I was just curious if any of you all have ever had profiteroles before, or have ever had cream puffs, which is like their little sister or brother or cousin or whatever to the profiterole. I feel like I should have had a cream puff at some point. Seems like something pretty common to have. I don't know if I have though. Definitely have not had profiteroles. So let me know. Let me know in the comments if you've had them before, or if you're trying to make them today. If this is your first time trying to make them, or your first time actually having them, just in general, let me know. Let me know all that stuff in the comments, and just say hi. We like to hear from you. Butter is melted though, so we're going to take this off the heat and stir in our all-purpose flour. Boop. Let's go. All right, we've got the flour all mixed in. I've moved the heat down to low, and we're going to stir the dough until it's smooth and doesn't stick to the bottom or the sides of the pan. Beeta says it should be about 1 to 2 minutes you have to do that for. And what this does is, once it's not sticking anymore, you know that all of the moisture has been evaporated from the dough. Actually, we're looking pretty good already, which is nice. It doesn't appear to be sticking anymore. Like, that happened quick. It hasn't even been a minute. But we're gonna go for at least a minute just to make sure. All right, I'm gonna call this good. Like, it's not sticking at all. So turn this off, take it off the heat, and I will meet you at the counter to put in the rest of our ingredients. Okay, so we're actually almost done with this recipe, which has me concerned. It seems really easy. Like, it's just really easy to make this shoe dough. Maybe it's just really easy to make this dough, I guess. So we're gonna add our eggs in one at a time. And Beeta says it might be hard to incorporate the eggs at first, but it eventually, after some vigorous beating, well, I'm actually gonna move this camera too, so you can see what I'm doing here for the second egg. And you want to go until the egg is like fully incorporated. So I'm gonna move the camera real quick so you can see what I'm doing. All right, so our dough looks like this now. We're gonna crack the other egg, put it in there, because since that first one is incorporated, we're gonna add the second egg now. Now our dough is sticky and smooth and not clumpy, and the eggs are fully incorporated. You can tell the difference. There's no more of all that liquid in there. So we're gonna go ahead and put this in our piping bag and then pipe them onto our sheets. Now when I fill the piping bags, when I do any other baking, you prop it open like that, but I roll it down. So that way you're getting the dough or the icing or the frosting or the meringue or whatever it is you're piping as close to the nozzle as possible. And you can cover your hand a little bit too, so it's a little less messy. We'll move those real quick. And I'm gonna scoop this out with a spatula. And you can also use the bag to help scoop or help scrape off some of the dough in this case. So then you just take the sides. It's supposed to be less messy, but you all know me. I can't help but be messy, apparently. Oh, sugar. Boop. up real quick. Keep your cooking, baking, whatever space as clean as possible. And now we're just going to put them on our sheet. It says medium-sized mounds. I don't quite know what that means. So I'm gonna go with that. That looks like medium. Okay, so this is gonna be really important. We're going to put them in the oven at the 425 that we've set, and then after 10 minutes, without opening the oven door. You don't wanna open the oven door to check on these. It's very important until it says in the recipe. But after 10 minutes, without opening the oven door, we're gonna turn it down to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm gonna pop these in the oven. Take you on my journey here. So this is supposed to make 8 cream puffs. We made a few more than 8, so I think I made them a little small, but that's okay. Pop them in the oven at the 425 for 10 minutes. Okay, so our profiteroles are in the oven. I don't know if you can see the time on those. We had about 8.5 minutes left for the 425 degrees. In 10 minutes, we're going to lower the heat to 375 and we're not going to open the door. Very important. You don't want to let out any of the heat that's in there right now. It's very important for the profiteroles to cook with it. Other than that, we have a couple more steps to do and we're going to be done. And I'll take you on the journey for that. I'm not going to show you turning it down to 375 because it's just turning it down to 375. And then we're going to set the timer for 20 to 25 minutes. I'm going to do 23 right in the middle. After they're done cooking, we're going to pierce them with a knife to let out some of the steam, make them nice and light and airy and fluffy. After we've pierced the pâte choux, which is the choux pastry that we're making, we are going to actually turn off the heat, let the oven door sit ajar for 15 minutes to let the pâte choux rest. Alrighty, we are done. So I'm going to turn the oven off completely. So we're going to take a sharp knife and pop these to let out some steam. Ooh. All right. Close that back up. And I'm going to leave the door to the oven slightly ajar for the next 15 minutes and let those rest. Again, oven heat is off, everything is off. I'm just setting the timer for 15 minutes so I know when they're done resting. Rest up nice, little pâte choux. Ah, okay friends, okay jet setters. Here we go. Can you see them? They're like super light. I can see. I'm probably going to cut them right at their creases, I think. I think that'll make sense. What we're going to do now is put them on a cooling rack, super easy peasy, and let them cool. You need them to be fully cooled, especially because we're putting ice cream on them. Put ice cream on a profiterole that's too warm, you're going to get a mess. A delicious mess, but a mess. So I'm going to have to refrain from my impulsive, impatient nature and let these cool all the way before we do our next steps and dig in. So, put them all here. They look like little snail shells. Look at this one. It's like a little snail shell. Can you see the texture in there though? I think it's going to be super nice and light when we cut it open. I'm actually pretty excited. This was a fairly easy recipe to follow, and I will admit I was very nervous about France. All of their stuff always just looks so gorgeous and like it takes a million years to make. It is one of the reasons why we're not doing croissants, because that literally does take days, and I have the patience to do that like on my own. but for filming purposes and when I get to use the kitchen and things like that, it just wasn't really realistic to do those. So you will not be eating croissants, but I do want to make them at some point. But we will make these little pâte à choux, which is, you can use these for cream puffs. So right now, I'm assuming you could just do the same thing we just did, but instead make a custard filling or a cream filling and cut those open once they're cool and fill them with that instead. So technically this is like 1.5 recipes in one, because I'm not going to show you how to make the cream because we're making it with ice cream because I want ice cream. We're waiting till these are fully cool, and then I'll meet you over at the counter to cut and assemble our profiterole. No, I won't. I lied to you. I'm actually going to meet you at the stove once these are pretty cooled. I'm not going to do it quite yet because they're not ready for it. But we still need to make our chocolate sauce with our chocolate chips and our heavy cream, which is back in the fridge, so it didn't go bad. Then we're going to serrate our cream puffs and assemble them with the ice cream and the chocolat ganache. I'm very excited. So we'll see you soon. All right, so we're back at the stovetop with our chocolate chips, our 2 ounces of semi-sweet or dark. I did semi-sweet. And there are 3 tablespoons of the heavy cream. Beeta recommends doing this in the microwave, but I actually, whenever I do a ganache, I always make it on the stovetop. Plus, it's a little more interesting for you guys to see anyways. So, I'm gonna put the heavy cream in, and we're gonna heat this up. I'm just gonna do on like a medium low until it starts to steam, and once it starts to steam, we'll add our chocolate in and whisk it until it's all a smooth ganache. If you wanted to do this in the microwave, which is, you're more than welcome to do, it's the way they recommend, or the way they do it in the recipe, you would just do it for 10 to 15 seconds. That should get the heavy cream nice and steamy, and then you just add the chocolate in and stir. So either way is a super simple process. I just thought this way was a little more interesting for you guys to see, and also it's the way I just usually do it, so that's what we're going with. All right, we're not quite steaming yet. I am gonna just futz it around real quick. Alrighty, so we are back at the counter for right now. Our cream is heating up. I just like to put it on a lower heat so it doesn't burn if it heats up too quickly or anything. So I'm just going to quickly cut these profiteroles. And what I'm going to do, cut them right in half. You want to use a serrated knife. Is oh, look at that. There's like a perfect little spot for the ice cream. That's so cute. I'm just cutting them basically at wherever their little, it's not easy to tell now, like wherever their little separation is. Beeta doesn't say specifically where to cut them, just in half. Look at those. But I'm going to use that separation as a guideline for me. You can cut them however you'd like to cut them, as long as they're in half enough to put some ice cream in and put the top back on. I didn't really expect these to be so hollow, I guess. That one's probably a little less than half, but I guess that's why you poke the hole in it, you let the steam come out, all that good stuff, so. They're all like perfect little bowls. This one's really far down. I'm not going to cut it at the perforation because I don't think it's going to work well, so. Just going to slice that in half and see how that, oh perfect, okay. I was worried if you didn't slice it at the perforation that it wouldn't work very well, but. Perfect. So we're going to go back over to the stove, finish our ganache, and then we're going to come over here and plate a couple of these bad boys. So yeah, I'm excited. All right, this is steaming, so I'm going to put that chocolate in now. This is too obnoxious for that. Not going to work, so we're just going to, and I'm leaving it on the heat a little bit. It's on so low that I'm not going to worry about that. And we're just going to stir it until the chocolate's fully melted in there. See a lot of air bubbles, but not a lot of like pieces of chocolate. So we're gonna go ahead back over to the counter. I know I'm kind of moving you guys all around today, but I wanna make sure you have the best views. All right, I'm not sure if it would be better to do over top or on the side. I'm gonna do it on the side and get some of that crumbs out of there, see if that works. So I'm gonna do one vanilla because I really want vanilla, and I'm gonna do one chocolate. I'm not gonna do too many because it's really only me here right now, so I'm gonna set these up for later. And I'm just gonna warm the ganache back up when people get home so they can have some. This scoop does not want to let the ice cream come out, my dudes. All right, well, do it myself. Alrighty, top that on there. Tap that on there. Oh my gosh. And then we're going to just, actually, it says to pour it. I'm going to take my spatula and drizzle. Maybe we could have done a better consistency. I don't know. I don't know. They look good. We're going to dig into these bad boys. Look how good they look. Yum! I'll see you back at the main camera so we can go ahead and bite into these, see how they taste. Are you ready for the reveal? La! Those little desserts. They look so delicious. We're gonna dig into the vanilla. I have a feeling it's gonna hurt my teeth because I have old people teeth and they get very cold. And they're very sensitive to the cold. And my hair is always doing some weird thing with the bangs. There we go. It's good. The dough is like crunchy. The chocolate is perfectly warm, which is a nice balance to the ice cream, so it's like a hot fudge on there almost. It's like a more fancy ice cream sandwich. So again, this was a Profiterole from Beeta at monpetitfour.com. We will have the links to that below as always. Again, links to the Patreon, Etsy, website, Instagram, whatever else I can think of that I'm not thinking of at the moment will all be in the description. Just give us a like, a subscribe especially, that really helps, and hit the notification bell if you want to know every time we put out a new video. Typically only Mondays at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Monday Munchies, but you never know. We could have a surprise video. I'm going to Boston in May, so we'll probably have little vlog videos go up that won't be at the normal Monday Munchies time. We'll still have the Monday Munchies going, even though I'll be out of town for about a week, because I do film them kind of ahead of time, so I have time to edit and all that, so you won't miss out on a Monday Munchie that week. Don't worry your pretty little heads off, my jet setters. And yeah, that's it. So just take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and have a good rest of your day. Au revoir. Bye.